Good morning, friends. How are you? Good morning. Hello, hello. Good morning to you. Hey, Jamie Battles, good morning to you. Hey, Sharon Landry, good morning. How are you? Hello, hello. Good morning, friends. Yes, you can. We are outside this today. You can hear cardinals. There's all manner of kind of beautiful critters running around. It is truly the beginning of spring here down in southeastern Massachusetts. It is coming. Uh, there are the crocuses are in the lawn, and the forsythias are blooming out front. It is happening, friends. It is happening. Even though the sky is gray and that spring is coming. So let's get going this morning. Hey, Karen, good morning to you. Happy birthday to you. I know you had a birthday this weekend. I hope it's grand and good. Sorry I'm not singing to you today, but I hope you've had a wonderful birthday weekend. So, all right, friends, let's get going this morning. So I'm over. It is this when. What is today? This Tuesday at 11:11. It's going to be one of those days. It's at 11:11. Welcome. I hope you are grand and good. Good morning, Donna. Glad you're here. I'm out here in beautiful Hanson, Massachusetts, which is kind of in the center of kind of nowhere. It's a little bit like Brigadoon. To get out here, we're having a ministers meeting with all of my colleagues and what we call the Mayflower ministers, which is just kind of terrific. If you ever had to have a ministers group in America, that's kind of one of the better ones, isn't it? And so we have an opportunity to come together and kind of share our travails along the road and along the path. And it's been it's such about walking the path. It's such about walking out this pilgrim's journey with each other. And so, and it's really what struck me this morning, because as I came across here, one of the ways to get to Hanson and particularly to get to the church is to come down, Meeting House Trail, which is over here to the left, and to come down Main Road, which is actually the main road between the old, what was called the old Indian Trail that would go from the coast to the Taunton River and back and forth and into Buzzards Bay and over to the Pilgrim colonies. And quite literally these grounds and these roads that I drove this morning, 400 years of pilgrims have been walking across them. 400 years of humanity has been walking out their journey right here. And then to arrive at this meeting and then discuss and have this just incredibly vivifying and wonderful talk with my fellow pastors. One dealing with a suicide and with folks in the congregation, not in the congregation, but kind of adjacent to the congregation, and folks that are and how he's pastored to them and how they're caring for one another. So pray for them and in this way, or others that are in the midst of preaching Lent and the invitation to bring their churches along and have their churches hear the gospel, and the frustrations that inevitably come with that, the difficulties of being faithful through the long journey, and just like that, and not so much, and nobody in the room is whining, but there are challenges, and it's hard some days, and to be able to come together in a group of people and just say, some days this is hard, and that and that and so to have walked these ancient trails and to be here and then to come and to be with this group of pastors and to kind of share our fellow burdens on the road, and all of that reminds me kind of how I started this day, which is I got a text from a friend of mine that is on the Camino de Santiago. So he's on what's called the Via de Plata, which is, it's flat. You might get it. Yes, that's this. So it's a southern route going up, goes north and south in Spain instead of east west, which is some of the stuff that I walked when I walked with him. So he was on the Camino when I did. He's now there, and he's having this profound experience of kind of seeing God, and particularly encounters with Mary and these different kind of figures within the gospel story along his path. And we've been talking about this, and this is the kind of thing that will happen is, it's like any of us, if you buy a red RAV4, all of a sudden all you see in the world is red RAV4s, that sort of thing. But in this way in which his heart's been touched, that he continues to see, he's continued to see Mary in his midst as he's been walking through. So he went to worship this morning in a church and is getting his rucksack on and getting ready to go for the day. And he kind of asked this question, gosh, where are you, Mary? I didn't see you this morning. And the word that came to him was this sense of, just because you don't see me doesn't mean I'm not with you. In your journey. And he turned around in the church, and there was this incredible veritas and statuary of Mary. Now, what you think about that, I'll let you I'll let you take that in on your own. But that was kind of how my day started. And what it spurred in me was this notion of the moment in which Jesus speaks to the disciples and that have seen Jesus post-resurrection, and they say, and he says to them, you have seen, and blessed are you who have seen, but blessed are those who have not seen and believe. And this incredible journey that we are on, in our life, just that we woke up this morning, we put some air in our lungs, we toddled off, put our feet in our bunny slippers and toddled off down the hall, that we set out on the tasks of our day, whatever they might be. As in my case, I get to travel across this kind of ancient road here in southeastern Massachusetts to come and be with my fellow pastors and to spend some time and reflecting and encouraging each other in ministry. I get to come here and spend some time with you. But I get to spend some time with my friend in Spain as he is on his own path and his own journey and his own pilgrimage, and set out there and recognize that he, even in the midst of not seeing God in his midst, but hearing the word that God was always with him. And friends, it's what I hope that you'll hear today, that blessed are you who believe, even though you don't see. That there are going to be days, and maybe today's one of them, where you just can't see the sense in it. You just can't see how is this all working? Who's actually running this thing? Why is the chaos and the crazy at work in the way that it is? Why is my heart broken? Why is my job a mess? Why is my family difficult? Why are the people I love dying? Why are all these things in our midst? And not just why, but where is God in this journey? Where is God in the midst of this? And that I think to spend some time with my pastor friends today and be encouraged, and to hear my friend who is on Camino right now, he received the word that he received, that just because you don't see me does not mean I am not with you. That our sight is limited. The human eyeball, for instance, of the 30, we can focus on 1/30,000th of what we can actually see. If you think about your peripheral vision, if you think about up, down, you think about all that you can see in your field of vision, what you can make clear is 1/30,000th of that. And yet, and even then, all we can see is about whatever it is, 170 degrees, either to our left or right. We can only see even in part, but we can only focus on even a tinier bit. And so too, what we focus on, what we give energy to, often is either just either a limited thing, or a not right thing, or just a thing, a moment, or just a flashy thing, or the scary thing that takes up our energy. But to understand, right behind us is the one who loves us into being. Right around us are all the hosts of heaven and all the angels. Right beside us are our colleagues and friends and people who love us, that will rather rally and gather around us if only given a chance. That in all of it, there is this pilgrim's path to be walked out. And that in our walking, in our turning around sometimes, there we find God in our midst. There we find the love of Christ in our lives. There we find the song of a cardinal in the distance that will remind us of the true and the good and the beautiful things in this world that are beyond anything that we can carry ourselves. So, friends, I hope you will remember that just because you can't see doesn't mean God is not with you. Just because you do not know doesn't mean there are not answers. But that in our walking and in our traveling of the ancient paths that are around us, in the meeting house roads that take us to the places in which we are with those who love us, that we encounter the face of God, that we are surrounded by the hosts of heaven and the angels themselves, that in all of that is the promise of the one who made us. That is the promise of Christ Jesus. All right, friends, that's my hope for you today. Peace and grace to you all. I just want to see who else popped in. Hey, Sharon, glad you made it. Hey, Vicky, glad you're getting cared for in these days. Marianne, good morning to you. Glad you're here. Hey, Christian Congregational Church Somerset, glad you're with us. John Wells, everybody, great to see you. Glad you're here. Peace and grace to you all, and we'll pick it up tomorrow with another 11:11.